Now, I do want to talk about the postseason. We've got a wild card weekend, games on Saturday, games on Sunday, and you have playoff teams, and then you have playoff teams. There are teams that make the playoffs because somebody's got to make the playoffs to fill out the field. No names mentioned, but you can probably do the math. You have those teams, and then you have playoff teams. You know, the teams for whom making the playoffs is just the beginning. These are teams that are not looking to take part. They're looking to take over. These are the teams that scare you in the postseason. These are the teams that you want no part of. The Buffalo Bills are one of those teams. In fact, if you're making a list of the 3 scariest teams in the postseason, you better put them on the short list. They better be on that list because that's how good they are. And no, that is not me honking for a team in a city that go way back with the jungle. That's me stating facts. Let's look at the facts. An MVP caliber quarterback who has thrown TD passes to 13 different guys. A defense that is peaking at just the right time. Look the hell out. I mean, there was a time when making the playoffs was a reason to party in Buffalo, but not anymore. They aren't just happy with showing up. They're looking to win the whole damn thing. I can't stress that enough. They're not just happy to be there. They're not just happy to advance. They're looking to win the whole damn thing. You don't believe me? Ask the Miami Dolphins. Miami was a pretty good team that went into yesterday's game needing a win to get to the postseason. And they come out of that game nursing a 30-point beatdown, a 30-point humiliation that was so bad, it literally has people questioning whether or not Tua is the guy going forward, a guy they took in the top 5 last year. And they're asking whether or not they have to draft another quarterback. That's how bad that was. 55-26. There's your final score against a 10-win Dolphin team that could have been a playoff team with a win. 56-26. I should say. That does not happen in the NFL. That happens when a college powerhouse plays a directional. But that's what happened when the Bills showed up yesterday. And they did a lot of that damage with their backups. So that's a team that's not just talented, but they're deep, which I'll get to in a second. Let me run down the last few weeks. Let me talk about what they've done the last few games and in the last few months. 56-26, 38-9, 48-19. Those are the scores of their last 3 games. So they don't just beat you, they beat you down. Now, you know that's got to scare everybody around the NFL, including Kansas City, because Buffalo's got the weapons to compete with Kansas City. And they've gone back to work since that loss to Kansas City back in October. In fact, if you take away that Kyler Murray and DeAndre Hopkins, Hail Murray, Hail Mary, these guys getting freaky on that play, if you take that away, the Bills would be rolling into the postseason with 10 straight wins since that loss to Kansas City. Instead, they've got to settle for 9 of their last 10. I'm telling you, this team is so good. Stephon Diggs was flossing on the sideline in the first half. Literally. He was getting in between his teeth during the game. And the only thing better than Stephon Diggs flossing on the sideline is the GOAT, Kevin Harlan, on the call. He's right. Normally, a stud receiver dropping a clinic in oral hygiene would be the highlight of the day. Normally, but not yesterday. Not when Isaiah McKenzie turned the second quarter into the Isaiah McKenzie show. McKenzie having himself a day in the second quarter alone. Not only 3 touchdowns, but 3 touchdowns in less than 7 minutes of game time, which is pretty unreal. You know what else is unreal? This exchange between McKenzie and Josh Allen that took place before the punt return. So he's getting ready to go back on the field, and he says, don't worry about that. I'm going to score. And Josh Allen said, well, go ahead then. And then McKenzie did just that. He went right on ahead. And that would sum up this team this year. Go ahead then. And then they do it. In the past, the Bills, like they were this lovable team with the fanatical fan base. But now they're the scary as hell team with the fanatical fan base. McKenzie said after the game, quote, seeing how we've grown so much from 2018 to 2020 has been a tremendous change. In 2018, people were like, it's just the Buffalo Bills. Now it's 2020, and people were like, we have to worry about the Buffalo Bills. It's been awesome just being here and trusting the process. It's really been a process, end quote. Hey, listen, if I'm talking about this team, you know I'm going to check in and see how Dion Dawkins describes it. Quote, It just shows that this is a different Buffalo Bills football team. We don't have to get in on anybody's back. This is all our doing. And it feels good to kick the front door out and sweep the East. End of quote. They did sweep the East. They kicked serious ass. And now this is your official warning. The rest of y'all have been put on notice because the playoffs are starting and the Bills Mafia are coming. Prepare accordingly. And they're letting some of the Mafia in. Bills Mafia, I'm going to ask you yet again. I've done so on social. I've done so on Twitter. I've done it on this show. I'm going to ask you yet again. How y'all living? How y'all feeling? How do y'all feel about what you're seeing? What's it all feel like after all of this? To not only be there, to not only be in position to do some damage, but to be in position to maybe run the table. They're that good. It's open now, and I'm sure they've got Kansas City's attention. Tremaine Edmunds is joining us. Now, the defense is playing really good ball right now. In fact, has been the entire year. But especially of late, the defense has been in the top 5 in scoring since Week 12. It seems like from the outside that the entire unit is playing its best football at the most important time of the year. What is it about this group that makes that defense so special?
Man, I think it's just the guys we have on the team. I think we hold each other accountable, and I think that's one of the biggest things. I mean, anytime somebody's down or whatever, we're not afraid to, let that person know. And anytime you have that, man, it's something special. And, even at practice, man, we hold each other to a high standard. And, we preach all the time a playoff caliber standard. And when you have that, man, we have guys approaching practice like it's a game. On everybody's mind, man, is to get better. And, when we watch the film as a team, you could just see that. And I think that's what clicks everybody together, especially during this pandemic we have, and we can't really get together outside of the building. It's about what we do while we're in the building together. And just seeing how we gel together at practice and, different things, and seeing guys get out there and competing every day. I think that speaks measures, and, that's why, we having the success that we're having.
We talked about the offseason. You weren't just being a leader in the offseason. You and your brothers were also hitting it really hard when it came to training. You've said that your mother, Felicia, was the one who was pushing all you guys. You said, quote, I had my mom out there, and she was just killing us, but it was all for the better. What was that like, and what was Mom's doing to get you guys ready?
Man, all-season training is definitely tough. It's one of those things, man, that you look forward to, but at the same time you don't look forward to it. But we was doing a little bit of everything. Something that we always do is track workouts. My mom was a track athlete, so anytime we could do track workouts as far as speed, conditioning, any type, whatever it may be. Those workouts are always tough, man. I'm pretty sure any track athlete can attest to that. But we did a little bit of everything, man. Hills, stadiums, like stairs, field work, drills. Anything you can imagine, man. We did a little bit of everything. So, I said my mom, not just my mom, man. My dad pushes as well. It's both of them, I just said my mom in particular because she got that track background, man. So anytime we do those track workouts, it's always tough. But just having those workouts with my brothers, man, the pandemic actually worked out for us because just training with each other, we got a lot out of it, and we was able to compete with each other and made each other better.
See, I was going to say that. It was definitely your dad, too, but your brothers. In a pandemic, when you've got your family, especially your particular family with that kind of athletic background, what about your brothers, Trey and Terrell, working out with you? How much did that motivate you, and then how much do you guys push each other and feed off of each other?
Motivated us a lot, man. Anytime you have your brothers that you've been through everything with, and you all training for the same goal, and that's just to be the best, best in your position. And, anytime you have that and guys with the same mindset as you, it's always going to be good things come out of it, good results out of everything because, there's no off days, Even the days that we don't feel like going out there, we push each other to go get it, push each other to, push ourselves, a little bit more than what we did the previous day. So, like I said, you have those type of guys around you, man. There's no way that you can settle with being average or mediocre, man. You always going to push yourself to be the best you can be.
A limited number of fans are going to be allowed to the game on Saturday. I know it's not the entire stadium, but knowing how passionate the Bills Mafia is, knowing how badly the fans want that, what's it going to mean to have some of them in the stands for that playoff game?
It's going to be amazing, man. We've been wanting fans all year. I think, we were one of the teams throughout the whole entire league that didn't have any fans throughout the whole year. So, I mean, it's going to be amazing. Bills Mafia is one of the best fan bases, I know I've been a part of. So it's going to be amazing to see them out there. I know it's going to be loud. Even with those limited fans we have in there, it's still going to be loud because that's what Bills Mafia brings. So I'm looking forward to it, man. It's going to be a great one.
Listen, Tremaine, one last thought, actually. I know you're focused on the team. I know you're focused on the playoffs, but you were named to your second Pro Bowl this season. You're focused on the team and what's in front of you, but what's that honor mean to you personally?
It means a lot, man. I'm blessed for it. I'm extremely honored, man, just to be, acknowledged by the guys across the league, and not just the guys, the coaches and the fans. I really appreciate it. I don't take those things for granted, man, because, it's just to be looked as that caliber player by your peers, man, it means a lot. But you hit it on the head, like, before you asked me that question. I got my mind on bigger things. I'm happy for the individual awards, but ultimately, man, I want to get that team award, which is the championship. So that's what I'm looking forward to.